Welcome to this week's episode of 5 Sets with Dave. So, Coach, why don't you recap the weekend at Northwestern at Illinois? Talk to us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We played a lot of volleyball this weekend. Played 9 sets in 2 nights. Probably should have played 5. Two of the sets we lost at Illinois were 2-pointers, extra digits. And so we played a lot of volleyball, which I think was good. We got some young players. We need to get better. We need to continue to improve. So nothing else. After the last 2 weekends, we've played, I believe, 19 sets in 4 matches. So we're certainly becoming battle tested in the Big Ten, and I really think that will help as we move forward. But at Northwestern, they had lost 4 in a row. Of course, 3 of those losses, Penn State, Nebraska, Ohio State, all on the road, which will happen to a lot of teams in our league. But they made some major changes. They went to a totally different system. Surprised us a little bit. Their freshman setter, who has been outstanding, became a setter and a hitter and was very efficient. We started really slow for whatever reason, and it took us about 2.5 sets to get organized. We were actually down 6-0 in the 3rd set after falling behind 2 games to 0 before some things happened. Lydia Dimke, I think, deserves a lot of the credit. We ended up actually junking our 5-1 and going to a 6-2, and that helped. And then Lydia went back and got some good jump top spin serves in that were really effective. I think that she turned the tide for us, and we were able to just escape with our lives. And that sent us down to Champaign, where we arrived about 2 in the morning at our hotel, which was a nice hotel, which was very good, and right on campus. So that was a positive. But we knew that was going to be a big match with Illinois, and I feel like they and Wisconsin and maybe Penn State have been playing as well as anybody in our league. So we knew that they were going to be a really tough out, but we felt like if we did the right things, we would be right in it. And we made a ton of hitting errors really all night long, but especially the first 2 games. 25 hitting errors in 2 games does not give you a chance to win, even though we did have a chance to win set number 2 and serve for set point and let that get away from us. But offensively, we just weren't very smart. I think the shots that we were hitting just weren't very good. Give them credit. They're the best blocking team in the Big Ten. I know I've said that before about some people, but now I've seen just about everybody. And they appear to be the best blocking team in the Big Ten, and they gave our kids some real trouble. And we didn't adjust. We didn't make the adjustments we needed to, whether that was our coaching staff or our players. And but we fought hard. I mean, the one thing that we did do, and this team will do, is they will compete. And however, on the negative side, we have to win matches. When you're playing the teams that are competing with you for a Big Ten championship and you lose to them like we did with Penn State and now with Illinois, that's not a good thing. We have to find a way to beat those people, and we get another opportunity now right around the corner when Wisconsin comes in.
Right. So down 2-0 both games to start. What do you say to them in the locker room? How do you come back after?
Well, a lot of people think I should be jumping their cases a little bit, and there's been some teams in some years, and maybe even later this year that might happen. But I've kind of matured to a point where I really think probably being calm and just trying to point some things out. There might be a couple of individuals you might want to try to shake a few cobwebs loose on because they're just not ready to go. But overall, it's just kind of stay with what you're doing. This is who we are. We've got to just do better at what we've been doing, and you got to get them ready to play. We did make a lot of adjustments on Friday against Northwestern, probably more personnel moves than I've made in a long time. We were throwing everybody at them when things were starting to go south. But it got turned around, and really, as the match went on at Illinois, we played better and better. Certainly, both of Game 3 and Game 4 were 2-pointers that went into extra digits. So, and we were serving for set point in Game 4 after we were down 21-12. One of the best comebacks I've seen at Purdue, where we storm back and take a 24-23 lead. And had a swing for that set, and they got a stuff block on the outside and then picked up 2 more quick ones. So a great learning lesson, I think, for us on the road.
For sure, definitely. So you're about halfway through the Big Ten play right now. How are you feeling? You guys are tied for second.
Well, I didn't feel very good after the match Saturday driving home. I felt like it was a blown opportunity. When you play as mediocre and as I don't want to use the word unintelligent, but not wise, not savvy volleyball, and you're right in it with a team on their home court in front of a sellout crowd. Just think if you'd have played your game. You know, it was a match that I think that was there for the taking, because I don't think Illinois was great. I think they were good, but they weren't great. It was a night that we might have been able to beat them. But as I slept on it and watched our team play those two matches on tape, and I'm thinking about where we are at the start of the season, I would have probably taken 8-2, even knowing that everyone thought we'd win our first 6. We're still in a position where we can control our destiny to win a Big Ten championship if our players want that bad enough, and if they can focus and start playing better together. I thought one of the things this weekend that was a little disturbing was I thought for the first time all year we saw some fraction. We saw some times where the team pulled apart just a little bit, which you can't do in this league. I admired the way Illinois played because I thought that they were solid together all the way through. And it's easier to tell on your own team sometimes than what's going on the other team. But we have to pull this thing together, and that starts with leadership, both from a coaching standpoint, but also with your veteran players.
Right. So moving on, that's
Yeah.
in the past.
Right.
Big game Wednesday, number 5, Wisconsin comes in. They're currently on top of the Big Ten. What's this match going to be like? What do you guys need to do to take them down?
Well, it's really a couple contrasting styles. I mean, I would describe our team, which we have not been a lot at Purdue, as a big physical outfit that can really kind of control or dictate the game. Now, sometimes it's not the way we want to control it, but we're going to take big swings. Our block is getting really, really good right now. We serve pretty tough. So, that's who we are. They are more of they're a more experienced team. They're putting a lot of veteran players on the floor, and even though their setter is a sophomore, she plays like she could be playing on the national team. She's that talented. So they got a lot of veterans. They're starting 3 or 4 seniors, and they really ball control well. They're going to play really good defense. They're going to fight. They're going to scrap. They're going to hit smart shots. They got a lot of good arms. They run a 5-1 offense, so they got 5 hitters with their one setter, and they're balanced. It's not like they're setting 1 or 2 people all the time. They've got really good balance and confidence in all their hitters, and I think we're getting to that point as well. But I think it's going to be a big physical team playing against a team that is really confident and really believes in their system and is going to just dig a lot of balls and try to frustrate you.
Yeah, I mean, they got all the confidence. They're on top right now, but do you think, so you did the 6-2 this weekend, do you think that might come back into play at all, depending on the situations? Or?
We will do whatever we need to do from time to time. That, we feel like Val Nickel is one of the premier setters in America and still has room to grow. I told both of our seniors since our match on Saturday that they're the 2 most important people on our team. I've never had 2 seniors that I thought had more room for growth and could still do so many things to help our program that those 2 do. Sometimes your seniors come in here and they're dragging their feet a little bit, okay? Not very often, but sometimes that happens. These 2 have so much talent that I think they can still go to a completely different level than where they are right now and take this team with them. This team admires those 2 players. They're going to go wherever they want, those players to go. So I think that, getting back to your question, we probably won't run a 5-1 unless the wheels start to fall off a little bit. Although Lydia Dimke is more than capable of stepping in and setting the ball. It's just that with Val not getting a lot of swings in practice on offense, it's hard for her to expect her to be a great right side player when all she's doing is setting during practice. So, we don't leave anything out, but we hope that we'll play well enough that we don't have to start going to plan B and C and D and et cetera.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a really exciting match, and we need everybody out there to support. I know that there was a good crowd out there in Champaign. And
we had 2 excellent crowds at Chicago. I thought we had more Purdue fans than there were Northwestern fans. There were a lot of high school students there that kind of filled up Northwestern's fan section. They had over 1,500, which is a huge crowd at Northwestern, but the Purdue faithful were incredible, and they really were a factor in getting us back into that particular match. And then we go to Champaign, and our student section comes over. Probably about 30, 35 of our student fans were there with another good crowd. And as you look around, there's just a lot more Purdue people at our matches than there have ever been. But this is a huge match, I think, for our program. We have to start beating those teams that are competing with us for a championship in the Big Ten. Wisconsin, Penn State, Nebraska. I'm forgetting somebody we just played in here. Ohio State and Illinois. Yeah. Those are right now on paper, those are the ones that seem to still be in the hunt for a championship. And you've got to beat those people. You know, it's important we pin a loss on Wisconsin, and they're going to come in here thinking the same thing. This is one we've got to win. So it'll be an interesting match, and just need to have that place just packed with Boilermaker fans. You don't need a lot of red in that place on Wednesday night.
Well, come on out and support on Wednesday. And Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.